What is going on, everybody? It's the France, and we are here for a Smackdown Live review for September 10th, 2019. The King of the Ring semifinals took a turn for the worst. Before Smackdown Live went on the air, about 4 hours or so, we got breaking news that Elias was injured. He injured his ankle, apparently, according to Shane McMahon during the show. Yes, Shane was back this week, that Elias broke his ankle. Now, there were conflicting news reports that this is, of course, a storyline, or this is just, this is a legit injury. I don't know yet. Hopefully, we'll find out some before Unscripted this Sunday, because I will let you guys know if it's legit or whatever happened. If it is legit, then hope he gets recovered soon. Never want to hear somebody going down with an injury. But the way the show went on tonight, it feels like this was not a legit injury, and Elias was kayfabe injured, broke his ankle kayfabe, and so we could get the King of the Ring semifinals that we got tonight, which was, and as soon as it was announced, it was pretty much made confirmed that this match was going to happen. I'm sure every single wrestling fan or WWE fan had heart palpitations leading on to a heart attack or something, because Shane McMahon inserted himself into the King of the Ring. And to assure his major victory to the top two Clash of Champions, he appointed Kevin Owens as special guest referee. Just to think, before leading into SummerSlam, Kevin Owens was the the anti-authority badass Stone Cold-esque type character. He's even using the stunner. We get the SummerSlam, he beat Shane, he beat the hell out of Elias, who was in a referee's shirt. And then, of course, the next Tuesday, he gets fined $100,000, and they upped it to $110,000. So Kevin Owens goes from being the badass anti-authority to a little bitch. Pretty much, like, not really, but pretty much getting on his hands and knees and, oh, Shane O'Mac, please reconsider this fine, please, I have to fund for my family, please. If Stone Cold Steve Austin went through and did exactly like Kevin Owens did, and beat the hell out of a referee and got a $110,000 fine, do you think Stone Cold Steve Austin would have walked up to Vince McMahon and be like, Vince pal, could you consider reconsidering this fine? Vince would have said, no, go to hell, Austin, and then Austin would have gave him a stunner. You have Kevin Owens pretty much belittled to the point where he went from being a badass to a little bitch like that, over $100,000, which I know to somebody like me, that is a lot of fucking money, and to Kevin Owens, of course, it was probably a lot of fucking money, but still, in the grand scheme of things, this did not help Kevin Owens one bit. This did not help anybody one bit. But la-di-da, to the happiest days, the finals of the King of the Ring is not Shane versus Baron Corbin. Could you imagine Baron Corbin versus Shane McMahon? It is going to be what we all thought it was going to be. If I can get the thing to show up, where'd it go? Why is it not showing up? Okay, that was weird. But it is, in fact, Chad Gable versus Baron Corbin in the King of the Ring finals. Now, with the way this ended up, honestly, in my opinion, I don't think Chad Gable was earmarked to be the SmackDown finalist of the King of the Ring immediately. I knew from day one, from the week before they started the King of the Ring, Baron Corbin was going to be in the finals. It's just too obvious. I didn't think we'd go the triple threat route that we did last night, but that's what it went to. And now, it's either Baron Corbin or Chad Gable. Now, of course, Baron Corbin's best match of his career was 2 weeks ago against Cedric Alexander. Or last week, not this week, not 2 weeks ago, but last week against Cedric Alexander. Chad Gable is one hell of a superstar, and honestly, had it been any other way, I believe Chad Gable versus Baron Corbin Chad Gable can get a great match out of anybody else in the King of the Ring. I'm hoping Baron Corbin and Chad Gable can give us a King of the Ring finals worthy type match. I wish it would have been Ricochet, because Ricochet versus Chad Gable would have been phenomenal. I think those two would have been able to put on a hell of a match for everybody to see, a spectacle. But we get Chad Gable versus Baron Corbin. Of course, it's the big toe. I'm pretty sure before on the pre-show of King of the Ring of Clash of Champions, we're gonna get a ton of short jokes because Vince McMahon loves his child humor, short jokes, pee jokes, fart jokes, and more toilet humor. It's just Vince McMahon is a 7-year-old child in a 70-some-year-old man's body, plain and simple. Now, the King of the Ring was the main event, as it should have been yesterday as well, but we got a lazy 10-man tag match as the main event, and a beer bash that took the shine off of off of Cedric Alexander last night and put it back on Stone Cold Steve Austin, which was absolutely ridiculous. You could have saved the beer bash for after the show went off the air, but that's neither here nor there. But this was the main event, and after the match was over, which originally was a one fall match, Chad Gable beat him within like 10 seconds. Then Shane's like, we're going to make it a 2 out of 3 falls match. Ankle lock, clamp down, tap out, and Shane McMahon is not going to the King of the Ring finals. However, Kevin Owens was the referee during the commercial break, apparently, because they don't do picture-in-picture during the commercial break for the main event. Kevin Owens was pretty much berated by Shane McMahon to do his job or suffer the consequences. So this badass anti-authority person in Kevin Owens had become just a guy who looked like he's conflicted in what he's doing. They took what was the most, one of the most intriguing characters at this time on the main roster and killed him and just made him Shane McMahon's bitch. Kevin Owens got beat up. Kevin Owens got attacked from behind after everything, and Kevin Owens was fired. Now everyone's going like, "Oh my God, Kevin Steen's going to be in AEW. Kevin Steen is all elite." It's storyline, people. Now, I don't know. I don't think Kevin Owens is going to have. Which honestly, they should be going like if they fired him. If he shows up and attacks Shane McMahon at any time between now and Hell in a Cell, which is where this is going, they shouldn't be calling him Kevin Owens. It should be, that's Kevin Steen, because that's his real name. That's what they should go with for this to make it feel more real. But no, they'll call him Kevin Owens because that's how WWE works. Yes, this is leading to Hell in a Cell. Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon 2 inside Hell in a Cell. If anybody remembers last time, which was 2 years ago, Kevin Owens was the heel, Shane McMahon was the babyface, and this was the night that Sami Zayn turned heel by helping Kevin Owens off of an announce table as Shane McMahon jumped to his death, again, from the top of the cell. My question is, with the Hell in a Cell coming up by next month, will Shane McMahon do it again? Will this be the third time in 3 years that every other year it seems like, or something, that Shane McMahon is going to jump off of Hell in a Cell? He did it at WrestleMania in 2016, Hell in a Cell 2017. He didn't do it in 2018. No Hell in a Cell matches for him. Will he do it at Hell in a Cell this year? You're wondering, well, France, Bray Wyatt's going to face off against Braun Strowman or Seth Rollins in Hell in a Cell. Why would Shane McMahon be in Hell in a Cell? Because they always do 2 Hell in a Cell matches, because they don't want to center this structure around one match, one Hell in a Cell match, just like why there's 2 Elimination Chamber matches, and so on and so forth. I'm surprised there's not 2 TLC matches or 2 Extreme Rules matches at the given pay-per-views. That's why there's 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches, and again, 2 Hell in a Cells, 2 Elimination Chamber matches, because they want to use these stipulations for twice in one show to get the money's worth, or they feel like should be their money's worth. So yes, this is all leading to Hell in a Cell. How we get there is we're only getting started. All I know is by the time this Hell in a Cell is over with, Kevin Owens better be winning, and this better be the end of Shane McMahon on television. His jury duty must have been up already, because we had to deal with him tonight in multiple segments. Again, this has got to stop. Clash of Champions is this weekend. He has nothing to do with Clash of Champions. I don't want to see his face on Clash of Champions whatsoever. And then, of course, we have Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell better be the final time we see Shane McMahon on TV in a very, very long time. I'm thinking 2025 at the latest, if that. But we open the show with the Old Man Taker. Undertaker comes out, crowd going wild, all bunch of sheep, all bunch of people who are just fools for cheering for this man. No Fiend at all. No Fiend, no nothing. That 11-19 meant nothing last night, apparently. So we still don't know what the 11-19 means. It could have meant The Undertaker, but it didn't. No Fiend, no hint at him versus Bray Wyatt or anything, which everyone... There were people like, oh, I'm happy they're leaving it to WrestleMania. Guys, if Bray Wyatt is going into Hell in a Cell, he better be walking out Universal Champion. And if he's winning the Universal Championship, he best be keeping it until we get to WrestleMania. So you get the Fiend versus the Demon for the Universal Championship, with Finn Balor winning the Royal Rumble. Especially if Balor stays on SmackDown. But yeah, no Fiend whatsoever. So what happened is the Undertaker comes out, cuts his paint-by-numbers promo talking about souls that he's taken, the memories he's made in Madison Square Garden. Now, for anybody who thinks that I'm disrespecting The Undertaker, I have nothing but respect for The Undertaker from 1990 to 2014. After he lost the streak, he had one good match against Bray Wyatt, which he should have lost, and that was it. Everything after that has been amateur at best. Undertaker needs to retire. I would probably be the only person, either one, napping, two, booing the guy, or three, telling this guy to please retire. The Undertaker does nothing for me. Every time The Undertaker comes out, WWE likes to tweet out, got chills yet? Got the chills yet or something like that? You having chills yet? And I told them, no, I haven't had chills for The Undertaker's entrance since 2014 at the latest. It's just, I'm tired of seeing The Undertaker. He brings nothing to the table. He doesn't elevate anybody. He comes out here, paint-by-numbers promo. Sami Zayn comes out, wants to talk, like, praise The Undertaker, wants him to pass the torch, gets chokeslammed by The Undertaker, and then that was that. Nothing else. You wasted our fucking time. That opening segment took probably 15 to 20 minutes of Undertaker's entrance, which was 5 of it, paint-by-numbers promo. Sami Zayn interrupts. Out of all the people on the fucking company in WWE, the main roster, to come out to interrupt The Undertaker, it had to be Sami fucking Zayn, who's in the middle of being Shinsuke Nakamura's manager. But when The Miz was facing off against Andrade, Sami Zayn wasn't by Nakamura's side. Why was that? Because he had to be in this Undertaker segment, which for whatever reason they picked Sami Zayn. This would have been perfect for the lights to go down, like they do with the Fiend. The lights come back up, and the Undertaker eats the mandible claw. But no, WWE didn't do that because the Undertaker doesn't want to put anybody over anymore. He's past that time where he puts anybody over. Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns was the last person he put over because he had to. If it wouldn't have been for that, he would not have put Roman Reigns over. The last person before that he really put over was, of course, Brock Lesnar, when Brock Lesnar broke the streak. And then Brock Lesnar and him had a feud, what was it, a year and a half later? That went 3 matches that Undertaker won one of them and Brock Lesnar won the other ones. Undertaker has not put anybody over besides Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns since WrestleMania 30. It's over. It's done. Undertaker needs to fucking retire. He's 50 plus years old. 52 or so years old. I've had enough of seeing The Undertaker. He doesn't bring the chills anymore. He doesn't bring the ooh and the ahs anymore. He's just a has-been, wasting our fucking time, while other people who aren't being used. Where's Buddy Murphy been the last 2 fucking weeks? Andrade was in a match with The Miz, which of course Andrade was going to fucking lose because The Miz is facing Shinsuke Nakamura. This guy just has to go. The Undertaker, pretty much, here's the thing, is that Undertaker is going to be used until he is 6 feet under. He brings nothing to the fucking table. Stone Cold Steve Austin was on Raw last night. You want to know how the ratings did for Raw last night? They were down 400,000. about 400,000. They went down to near record lows. And yes, it was Monday Night Football. Yes, it was a great game between the Saints and the Houston Texans that went down to the fucking wire. But still, Stone Cold Steve Austin himself could not save the fucking ratings. And Monday Night Raw's third hour will drop below 2 again, and that's where it's going to go. Monday Night Football had its first week this week. There's going to be Monday Night Football the next 16 weeks. WWE's Raw is going to suffer every single week. I mean, yes, the Jets and the Browns are playing next week on there, so they might have some luck if the Jets and the Browns lay an egg. But still, Monday Night Football is back. WWE's time of being up in the 2.5s is over. This is going to be the time where they just start trailing off, and nobody's going to care because football is back. But still, Stone Cold Steve Austin and nostalgia for him did not work. Undertaker is not going to work. I am over it. I'm probably not the only one that thinks this. I might be in the minority here, but I am over the Undertaker. Mark Calloway needs to just go into his crypt, into his thing, kill the dead man, get on his bike, and just ride with him and Michelle McCool and their kids, and just ride off into the sunset because he does nothing for this company anymore. He could be an ambassador. Go get rid of the dead man persona. Go to your American Badass version and be an ambassador for the company. Your time coming down the aisle and getting the crowd all hyped up has to end. When you make priority for the Undertaker over other guys, it doesn't help anybody. Stone Cold Steve Austin, as I just said earlier, at the end of the night, Cedric Alexander beat AJ Styles with a lumbar check that looked like it should have devastated anybody would have taken that. Even Roman Reigns, that would have beat them. He gets the pinfall, and as soon as the referee is hitting the 3 count, the bell doesn't even fucking ring, and the glass breaks. That should have waited till the fucking show was over. There was no reason to have Austin come out and pretty much steal the thunder of Cedric Alexander. I'm tired of the nostalgia acts. We have to deal with it on October 4th when it comes to SmackDown's 20th anniversary, because that's another nostalgia act show. Yes, that's going to probably have the highest rating for SmackDown on Fox ever. But it's just going to be one of those things that I just can't stand it. I'm tired of nostalgia. And people are like, oh, well, you probably popped for Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard being on AEW's All Out. There's a difference. The show wasn't that match between between Cody and Shawn Spears was not built around Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. It was built for them. They were little pieces. Arn Anderson hit a spinebuster and was gone. Tully Blanchard disappeared, and it became down to Shawn Spears and Cody. If that would have been WWE, they would have threw the match out and made it a tag team match. There is a difference. AEW's not building off of nostalgia. And there was some fucking idiot yesterday, and before we get into SmackDown, there was an idiot on Twitter last night, pretty much saying, oh, well, AEW making Chris Jericho the first AEW champion. How is that not nostalgia? There is a difference. To name me one person not named Chris Jericho that has reinvented themselves so they are not stale. When that glass breaks, Stone Cold Steve Austin is the same guy and the same character that you saw in 1997, 1998, 1999, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, so on and so forth. When the Heartbreak Kids music comes out, that is Shawn Michaels. He might not have hair anymore, but it's the same guy that you saw from 2002 onward. When The Undertaker's Gong hits, that is the same guy that you saw from, I'm going to say, 2004 onwards. There's a difference between nostalgia. The Hardy Boys, love the Hardy Boys. They come back after being the talk of the wrestling world for about a year and a half. Maybe 2 years. They were the talk of the wrestling world as the Broken Hardys. They come back to WWE, they got the old music, they're acting like their old selves. It's like it was 1999 again. And that wore off quickly. When Matt Hardy went to Woken Matt Hardy, it just wasn't the same. It was too little too late. Chris Jericho. Okay, Chris Jericho from 1999 to 2005 was Y2J. He came back to WWE in, I believe, 2007, was it? and he was still Y2J. Yes, and that felt like a nostalgia act because he came back and he was just himself. He was the same guy he was as he left. Halfway through that run, he turns heel. He drops the Y2J. He's just this cold, calculating, egotistical villain. And then he went back. He left. When he came back, he wasn't that guy anymore. He was the guy with the lights on his jackets. He was the guy with the scarf. When you see Chris Jericho in AEW, it's not the Y2J, the Lionheart, or the List of Jericho, or the guy who wore the scarf, or any of those other characters. This is evil, vile Chris Jericho. It's still Chris Jericho, but it's not the same guy that you see in WWE. There's a difference between nostalgia, where if Chris Jericho wanted to be nostalgia and win the AEW championship, he would come out saying Y2J and Ayatollah Rock and Roller. That's not this Chris Jericho. This Chris Jericho is a different Chris Jericho compared to what you've ever seen in WWE, and for good reason. So, the nostalgia act, I'm over it. Undertaker needs to just stay home. Enough of it. WrestleMania, here's the thing. A couple years ago, when The Undertaker made his, what was it? I think it was the second match for Triple H or something, or the first one. And they did a highlight package, and it was like, oh, it's not WrestleMania without The Undertaker. It's like when The Undertaker's gong hits in the WrestleMania season really begins. WrestleMania did not feel any different with The Undertaker not being there, quite honestly. And believe me, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, if you would have said that, I would have said you're crazy, because it would have been The Undertaker. Who's he going to face the streak? Who's he going to defend his streak against? Who is he going to go out there and give you a great match against? That all ended when he lost the streak. After he lost the streak, he's just on borrowed time. The Undertaker just does not need to happen anymore. If he wanted to come out and be the American Badass, talk like a real person instead of like the dead man that he's been, I would be fine with that. Here's the thing, and here's the thing that really kills The Undertaker for me today. On Saturday, this past Saturday, on game day for ESPN, Undertaker was on there, not as the dead man. He came out looking like 2002 to 2001 to 2003's American Badass. Probably sounding like Mark Calloway, sounding like he usually would. This guy's even got an Instagram or Twitter account now. Undertaker is not what he used to be. The nostalgia act has got to die. Give me somebody else. I wanted to see the Fiend show up so fucking badly. I wanted him to come in after the chokeslam. You could have chokeslammed Sami Zayn, that's fine. The Undertaker goes to leave, the lights go down, lights come back up, Phantom Claw onto the Undertaker, that's that. Where was that at? So we still sit here and speculate what was the 11-19 for Bray Wyatt. Hopefully if they do a Final Fight Funhouse on Monday, there'll be another clue. Because right now, they had 2 opportunities to skyrocket Bray Wyatt to be a big fucking deal, and they dropped the ball again. WWE, we can't have Undertaker, and we can't have Stone Cold Steve Austin looking weak anymore. They're at that time of their age that them looking weak is going to look bad on the WWE. Give me a break. The whole idea you bring a nostalgia act back is to give the rub to somebody new. Do you think Sami Zayn, who took a chokeslam, feels like he's any more important? Give me a fucking break. Yes, it's probably a rite of passage to take a chokeslam from The Undertaker. But did it help Sami Zayn at all? Do you feel that Sami Zayn is any more important for taking that chokeslam? No. So what was the fucking point? You wasted our fucking time bringing The Undertaker out just to have a paint-by-numbers promo and beating up Sami Zayn. That was it. That was absolutely a waste of everybody's time. We go backstage and we see the worst thing I've ever wanted to see, and that was Shane McMahon. Chad Gable walks in and Shane calls him Shorty and talks about his King of the Ring performance. Shane brings up Elias being injured and pulled from the tournament. Gable assumes that he's getting a bye and going right to the finals. Shane says, you don't want that. You're a competitor. You don't want to just get a bye. You want competition. Well, you will compete tonight against someone either from Raw or Smackdown, maybe somebody who's already been eliminated, and the match will be decided later. I got to figure out who you're going to face, but I'll let you know later. Now, I believe this has happened before, not in the King of the Ring, but a different tournament, where somebody's been injured, especially towards the end of the tournament, and the person that they beat in the previous round just got put back into the tournament. Why didn't you just do that? We could have had Ali versus Chad Gable in a fucking fantastic match, but the way the show ended, I guess it made sense that they went this way, but on the grand scheme of things at this time, I would have rather had that happen, where we got Ali versus Chad Gable, which would have been fantastic. Then we go straight to Miz versus Andrade. Why was this match happening? I understand the Miz needs to get wins to solidify his place as a challenger for Shinsuke Nakamura. Why, again, is this match happening? There is absolutely no motherfucking reason this match needed to happen. Miz wins, Skull Crusher finale. During the end of this match, he throws Andrade into Shinsuke Nakamura. Zelina Vega is outside just losing her mind. Nakamura, and I figured Nakamura is going to do what any heel would do and go up there and cost Andrade the match and beat the hell out of the Miz. But no, he, just dusts himself off and he sits back down waiting for his time. Vega does try to get a distraction in. Miz blocks a kick, but Andrade drops him with the elbow, which he didn't hit him with the elbow. He actually missed the elbow. Andrade goes up top for the moonsault, but lands on his feet. Miz turns something into the Skull Crusher finale for the 1, 2, 3. After the match, Nakamura immediately hits the ring and hits him in the back of the head. Nakamura works over Miz and leaves him laying with a Kinshasa, raises his title, and the announcers type Miz versus Shinsuke Nakamura for Clash of Champions. Shane McMahon walks up on Matt Hardy and Apollo Crews in the back with short jokes. I must have missed this one. I think I went to the bathroom. Looking for Chad Gable, Shane says he's found an opponent for Gable and he was approved by the injured Elias. Shane says, I'll be right back. He leaves out of frame, walks back in, and is like, it's me, the best in the world. Yeah, the fans boo, and he says he will see Gable out there in the main event tonight. So, yes. When this came off, well, I guarantee the entire WWE universe had a groan of, really? We're going to get the best king in the world, Shane McMahon? Really? Again, as I showed you, thankfully that didn't happen. Then we come to Nikki Cross versus Mandy Rose. Who writes this shit? Mandy Rose hates Nikki Cross, not because Nikki Cross is a better wrestler, not because Nikki Cross is well liked by the fans, and Mandy Rose is not. She doesn't like Nikki Cross because in her eyes, Nikki Cross is ugly, and she is God's gift to Earth. This is 1990s and this is Attitude Era-esque BS if I've ever heard it. If the women were as prominent in the Attitude Era as they are today, you would have lines like this. Oh, she looks like a sewer rat. She looks like a dog face. It's like, people open the door for me, they shut it on Nikki Cross. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, Mandy, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people in the WWE Universe would take Nikki Cross over you any day of the fucking week. I know I would. I just like, I don't know. It's just, yeah. Cross, out came Alexa Bliss, then out came Nikki Cross, who just barrels to the ring, starts wailing on Mandy Rose. Bell rings. They have can I say it's not a really good match? Cross did her best to make Mandy Rose, to do what she can with Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose still has ways to go before she's even talent and she's good enough to be anywhere. But Nikki Cross gets the win with a roll up for the 1, 2, 3. Cross and Bliss take the titles and hit the ramp. Rose and Neville look on from the ring. Now, in typical WWE fashion, when a champion wins on TV, that champion usually loses on the pay-per-view. Could we see Fire and Desire win the tag team titles from Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss? If they want to go ahead and give us the Nikki Cross-Alexa Bliss feud that we all picture they're going to be giving us eventually, it would not surprise me. Maybe there's a miscommunication between Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. We'll go over this on Friday. I have no idea. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I think this is going to be very interesting to see what happens. Just like Bayley getting pinned by Charlotte Flair last night makes me think that Charlotte Flair is not winning the championship. Could we happen to see new tag team champions? Oh, and where are the moronics? In catering, where they belong. Thank God they finally lost those tag team titles about a month ago. Having machinery backstage at catering, taking in a pre-match fuel as they make a smoothie of what? I don't know, and I don't care how it tastes. I'm not trying it. Ember Moon approaches Bayley backstage and knocks her for a recent behavior with Sasha Banks. She asks, what happened to you? You talked about elevating the division and you go and do this with Sasha Banks? Bayley says nothing's happened. She's the same person she always has been. Bayley did what she did for the division. Says it's not all about Banks, it's about the title. Moon, of course, is not buying this and says Bayley is better than that. This is about Bayley trying to stay relevant as champion, especially since Banks came back. She brings up how Charlotte Flair pinned Bayley on last night's Raw. They get in each other's face. She look like they're ready to come to blows. And she says, save all this. Moon says, save all this for a match tonight. Bayley says, see you in the ring. And that was that. I guess Heavy Machinery since the Viking Raiders are now in the non-jobber role now, they're going up against people. They were in that 10-man tag match. Heavy Machinery has taken their place as the tag team to be facing jobbers as they took on Alex Keaton and John Silver. God, please tell Otis to never drop his straps again. They do what they can. They beat these guys down, and then one of these poor souls falls into the ring after Otis splashes both of them. And this guy decides he's going to take both straps down, so he's pretty much he's got only his attire down from the waist down on. And as Corey Graves said, put it back on. Somebody tell this guy to put it back on. Oh my God, I wanted to just rip my eyes out. He does the caterpillar. They do a compactor. 1, 2, 3. Heavy Machinery won. Does this do anything for them? It keeps them on TV, I guess. Shane McMahon's backstage talking to a staffer when Kevin Owens walks in. Shane called to see him. Shane brings up the $100,000 fine from a few weeks ago and says he's willing to reconsider and get rid of the fine. Owens wants to know what the catch is because it's a McMahon. There's always a catch. Shane hands Owens a referee shirt and mentions how important tonight's King of the Ring match is and says becoming the best in the world and the King of the Ring is very important to him. Shane says Owens' family is important to him and if he helps out, the fine will disappear like that. Owens clearly isn't thrilled with the idea and Shane tells him to think about it and Owens walks off with despair in his face. People were like, you gave this guy the Stone Cold Stunner. You gave this guy the Stunner to solidify him as a babyface. You had this guy being anti-authority, CM Punk / Stone Cold Steve Austin type guy who didn't give a fuck what Shane McMahon was doing. He just wanted to get rid of Shane McMahon. You levy a $100,000 fine on the guy, and he becomes a lapdog. This guy went from one of the hottest baby faces in the company to raging lapdog. That is absolutely sad. You had something with Kevin Owens, and you killed it. You killed it a couple weeks ago when he came into Shane McMahon's office and literally he should have just came in walking down on his hands and knees with his hands cupped under each other and just like, please Shane, please reconsider the fine, please. This has been absolutely sad. You've killed anything that you built up with Kevin Owens. You killed it. You absolutely killed it. Back from break and we see the recent items between Eric Rowan and Daniel Bryan. Eric Rowan is out with his new theme music, which, it's give or take. It's something you gotta go on. He says, all his life, no one gets him and no one understands him. Gets the what treatment, which, fuck the what treatment. Rowan goes on about how everyone is afraid to look him in the eyes and see what makes him tick. He wants you to look him deep in those eyes to see what he's all about. He's a mastermind, a manipulator, a schemer, but all people seem to see is a big brute who terrorizes and brutalizes. Rowan, there's really nothing wrong with that. That's how a lot of guys your size have made it in wrestling. Just a big brute who brutalizes and terrorizes. Just how he did Roman Reigns last week. He goes to talk some more, but Roman Reigns' music hits, and these guys have a Pier 6 brawl throughout the entire arena, leading up to the staging area. They fight near the King of the Ring. I would have popped and went completely crazy had Rowan been standing in front of the King of the Ring chair, and Roman would have speared him through the King of the Ring chair. I don't know about you, but I think that would have been fucking awesome. I would have probably sat there like, holy shit! But no, it is not to be. They beat that. They fight. They get the security guards. They're right before they get up to the area, the staging area. Rowan is having a hard time coming back over the barricade because he keeps getting hit with a Superman punch. So Rowan grabs some stooge sitting at ringside, picks him up, and just powerbombs him into Roman Reigns and a bunch of security guards. Security guards, staff members, the whole 9 yards. So I don't know who that plant was, but that guy earned his $500 for the afternoon. Again, they have fight over everywhere else. Let's see. Rowan talks trash to Reigns. A brief holy shit chant breaks out, and let's see. Oh yeah, they have the lighting. They have this camera rig up near the ramp area. Rowan actually grabs it, lowers it down, and swings it, and it hits Roman Reigns square in the fucking head. Rowan eventually leaves. That's where the holy shit chant came from. He leaves the stage. Reigns slowly gets to his feet, cheer on him. He chants his name, and I believe we saw a smile on Roman's face as he's ready for Sunday. The brawl was fun. The brawl was fine and good and everything, but it all matters nothing. Rowan got the upper hand. Rowan beat down Roman Reigns. Rowan is going to take a Superman punch, block a spear, another Superman punch, eat a spear, 1, 2, 3. So everything that you had done tonight is going to mean nothing on Sunday because we all know where this is going to go. Rowan beats Rowan. Could we please get somebody next time that attacks Roman Reigns have a different sounding name? Because Rowan and Roman are just way too close together. I'm sorry. We announced we go to the card for Sunday, Bayley versus Ember Moon. Charlotte Flair is at ringside commentary because we have to hear from the self-proclaimed queen. You didn't win no queen. You didn't win no Queen of the Ring or anything, Charlotte. So you're not a queen to me. They do bring up the fact that the people have been saying the women's championship, while it's on Bayley, has been irrelevant. She says that's never been happening when she was champion. This was a nothing match. This match, I swear, went 5 minutes at the most. Bayley catches gets out of the way of the clips. Bayley to belly, 1, 2, 3, and that was that. After the match, Bayley takes the title and raises it in the air as Charlotte Flair does a golf clap at ringside and walks into the ring. They meet in the middle. They talk a little trash. Charlotte raises her hand in the arms and mocks Bayley as the champ. Bayley backs out, and Flair standing tall, flashing the 10, like Ty Dillinger used to do, only she's talking 10 championships. 10, 10, 10. Now, apparently they're going to be in San Francisco they're going to Charlotte this Sunday. That's in Charlotte, Charlotte's hometown. They're going, I guess a few weeks later, they're going to be in Bayley's hometown. And I believe the last time they were in Bayley's hometown, they did not embarrass Bayley. She's due for it. WWE likes to, because it's cheap heat. It's cheap heel heat to embarrass a babyface who's the hometown person. So, Bayley is probably going to win on Sunday, and then lose, and then there's going to be some kind of shenanigans. She wins by hook or by crook, and then the time that they're in Bayley's hometown, it's going to be another women's championship match, and Bayley's going to lose there. So we have that. We see Kevin Owens backstage wearing the referee shirt. He doesn't look happy. And we go to the ring, and out comes Kofi Kingston, showing off his disgrace of being the WWE champion by having pancakes stuffed in between him and the championship. Kofi says it feels good to be back in MSG as the fans pop. Kofi says this will forever be a special place in his heart, in him, because it's where he stepped up against one of the top guys to prove he belongs. And he did when he whipped Randy Orton's ass all over this building, in the ring, outside of the ring, in the walls, and over the barricade. The icing on the cake was when he laid Orton out and put his ass through a table. Kofi goes on and says that he beat Orton all around the arena and had fans chanting his name, and that's when he knew. Fans started chanting his name. It said that's when he knew that one day he would be back in MSG and he would be champion. Yeah, well, you didn't think it was going to be 10 years since that, like almost 10 years since that incident happened, which I remember seeing that shit live 10 and like almost 10 years ago, and that shit was awesome back then. I'm pretty sure not the only one who thought this, and Kofi has admitted it, that I thought Kofi was going to be in the WWE Championship picture. We all know what happened. Randy Orton bitched a fit backstage. Kofi got sent down the ladder and never really was ever looked at being a WWE champion, even earlier this year. When the new year started, if anybody in WWE management goes, yeah, Kofi was going to be WWE champion going into WrestleMania, coming out of WrestleMania, you're out of your mind. Kofi being champion was a happy accident. He says, well, I see a bunch of kids in here, a bunch of young kids. You might not be old enough to know what happened. And for those who might have forgot, we show some footage. And I wish they would have just showed the entire brawl from when they started in the ring, I believe, to where they had the boom drop. But no, they showed the boom drop from, I believe, like behind hard camera, on the hard camera side, down in in the middle section of where the cheap seats are and the expensive seats are. There's that section right there. It was around there where they have a couple equipment things. He boom dropped them through there, and that was that. It was from November 16th, 2009, where he put Orton through the table. Kofi said that was just a small preview of what he's going to do with Orton on Sunday. He started saying, I will still be your WWE champion, but Orton interrupts and we hear him saying stupid over and over and over again for somewhere in the arena. He appears in the crowd off to the side of the entrance ramp. He's tired of hearing Kofi going on about the only two things he's done in the past 10 years. You know what I'm like? Put me through a table and win the WWE Championship. You know what I've done in those 10 years? Won 7 championships, world championships. Won the Royal Rumble twice. Money in the Bank. But none of that is going to pale in comparison to what I do to you this Sunday when I take that title from you and prove to everyone that you are something you are not, that you have been trying to do since day one, whether it's that fake Jamaican accent or that phony power positivity bullshit. Which he did say bullshit, but they did beep it out. I guess the only person going to say curse words is Stone Cold Steve Austin. Kofi drops the mic, readies himself to fight, takes his jacket off, takes the WWE Championship off, leaves the ring, enters the crowd. They have themselves a brawl. Orton meets him with a steel chair. Kofi suckered in once again. He calls him stupid and delivers some more chair shots. Orton launches Kofi onto a wall and goes up for a draping DDT from a table to the concrete floor, but Kofi gets free and unloads, taking Orton down. Fans chant for Kofi as he grabs a chair and unloads on Orton with it now. Kofi positions a table in the crowd just like he did 10 years ago. Graves says Kofi is having flashbacks. Kofi goes on to put Orton through the table, but Orton turns it around, places Kofi on the table, and goes for the chair. Kofi blocks it, and while he does that, the table breaks. So when he kicked at Orton, and the momentum of him kicking Orton, it fell backwards, and he ended up breaking the table. Kofi mounts Orton with some strikes. Fans chant tables. There's another set of lightings that he pushes off to the side. They're on some wheels conveniently. And he pulls another table out, puts Orton on it, keeps him on it this time, goes up top and hits another boom drop. Full circle, people. 10 years ago, he puts him through the table. 10 years later, he puts him through another table in the same exact building. It would have been so much, I think it would have been so much crazier if they would have mapped out the spot where it happened 10 years ago and got around that same exact area. That would have been like, he hit him in Madison Square Garden in the exact same spot 10 years later. Kofi goes up the stairs in the crowd and leaps off, putting Orton through the table. Kofi goes back up to the top and stands tall on the railing as fans cheer him on, and we go to replay as the New Day music plays. I think this is going to be the end of the road for Kofi Kingston. The guy has had the title since WrestleMania. He has been one of the most protected champions in all of WWE. Outside of probably Becky Lynch, who has only been pinned one time, and that was with the help of Lacey Evans, if I'm correct. Becky Lynch and Kofi Kingston are the most protected champions in all of WWE. Even Seth's first Universal title reign, I believe he lost a match or two by non-title matches. This is just like it's been one of the most protected championship reigns because they had to protect Kofi. Kofi, in my opinion, was never like the fact that it was a happy accident. Kofi wasn't built up to be WWE champion. They never had and the way they built him from the Elimination Chamber, that I'm going to say the Elimination Chamber up to WrestleMania, they fucked that up, and how badly they did that. So Kofi going to lose the championship to Randy Orton, and it wouldn't be a bad thing, and Kofi has been a champion. Nothing else you can say and do about it. But Kofi should be losing the WWE Championship coming out of the next pay-per-view Clash of Champions. Go to break, we come back, but it has been known that Roman Reigns and Eric Rowan will be in the match, will be a no disqualification match. I think this is a smart move because Roman Reigns is not a ring general, and Eric Rowan is not a ring general, and I think this is going to help protect both of these guys in their weaknesses in a singles match. Having these two go out there in a normal singles match, I think, would not be good. I think it would expose both of these guys in the end. So putting them in a no disqualification match actually will protect these guys more than anything else. Chad Gable versus Shane McMahon, King of the Ring qualifier. This one ended quick. Gable nails a Chaos Theory wig immediately, which is the deadlift German suplex pinning combination. 1, 2, 3. Quick and easy pin. Chad Gable wins, and I'm like, there's still 5. There's like 10 minutes still left. He goes to the Shane takes the mic and says, "This is now a 2 out of 3 falls match." He has some words with Owens as Gable returns. Fans chant "asshole" as Shane and Owens apologize at Shane. Owens apologized to Gable at ringside, allowing Shane to attack Gable from behind. Shane slams Gable's face into the announce table over and over, then into the timekeeper's area, and we go to commercial break. Back from break, and we have 2 falls left. So maybe Shane shows off after Chad Gable barely makes it back to the ring for the 10 count. Shane works Gable. By the way, he was getting counted out, and Shane McMahon kept going over to Kevin Owens and telling him to count while Kevin Owens is trying to count. So Shane McMahon didn't win the second fall by count out because he kept bothering Kevin Owens, so that's his own damn fault. Anyway, basically Shane McMahon beats the hell out of Gable. Gable gets a roll up, and Kevin Owens slowly counts. Shane McMahon gets a pin, and Kevin Owens tries to get the 1, 2, 3 as fast as he can, but Gable kicks out every time. Shane McMahon eventually brings a chair into the ring. Shane McMahon brings a chair into the ring. Kevin Owens talks him, says, "You can't do that. Everyone can see it. I can see it. Everyone else can see it." And Shane McMahon's like, "Oh, I have an idea. Take the chair and get it out of here." While Kevin Owens is doing that, Shane looks for a low blow, and Chad Gable catches it, turns it into an ankle lock, gets the leg vice on, and Kevin Owens is just sitting there like, "What am I going to do? What the hell do I do? What do I do?" He's like sitting there like, "What do I do?" Shane McMahon taps out. Kevin Owens doesn't even call for the bell. It's just he's just sitting there like conflicted. What the hell do I do? And Chad Gable is your winner. And as we've seen before, he is going to King of the Ring to take on Baron Corbin. Will it be King Corbin or King Shorty G? I'm hoping and praying for Chad Gable. He could use this type of momentum, but I don't think so. It's going to be Baron Corbin. We'll talk about it this coming Friday. After Battle, Gable's meeting the kids, and he celebrates by running around the ring. It's revealed that the King of the Ring finals will take place on Monday. What? They're going to take place on Monday Night Raw instead of Clash of Champions, which makes no sense. Gable versus Baron Corbin, and it's confirmed for the final. Shane ends up attacking Owens from behind and beating him down. He destroys Owens as fans boo. Shane takes the mic and announces that Kevin Owens is fired. The announcers are stunned. Smackdown goes off the air with Shane standing over Owens as a AEW champ picks up from the Madison Square Garden crowd. So that is how Smackdown goes off the air. So the King of the Ring finals are set. I'm going to have to confirm that that's going on Monday Night Raw instead of the King of the Ring, instead of Clash of Champions, as you see right there. If it doesn't go on Clash of Champions, I guess that's fine, for the simple fact is there's so many matches. You have all the championship matches. You have Eric Rowan versus Roman Reigns. If you have the King of the Ring match, that's 12 goddamn matches. 13, I think, actually, with AJ Styles and Cedric Alexander being added. So 12 matches, I think, is their cutoff point. So they're like, we'll just move it to Monday Night Raw. So the King of the Ring finals, I guess, is happening on Monday Night Raw, not the pay-per-view, which is fine. Which honestly, if in my opinion, that would actually probably be a benefit for the King of the Ring match, the finals, because there's 12 matches with 10 or 11 title matches. I guess the 24/7 championship has to be like defended too, which it can be defended at any time. But anyway, so taking it off the pay-per-view, I mean, it should be on pay-per-view, but it's fine if it's not. Simply for the fact is, that would be, they can put it on Monday Night Raw in the main event and start the match at like 10:30 and give these guys a half an hour, or give 10:20 and give these guys a half an hour. Yes, I know it's Baron Corbin. Him being in his 20-minute match would probably be a bad idea, but putting it on a overstocked Clash of Champions pay-per-view card would pretty much make the entire, if it's the first, say it's the first match we have on to open the show. By the time that show's over, unless Gable and Corbin give you the match of the year candidate, nobody's going to remember the King of the Ring finals by the time that show is over. So putting it on Monday Night Raw, if that is the case, is probably a better idea than putting it on Clash of Champions. But that is your Smackdown Live review for September 10, 2019. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video, follow me on Twitter and twitch.tv/TheFranceClub. And I will see you guys tomorrow for NXT. Before I go, make sure to check out Unscripted episode 85, Raw review from this week, as well as SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT from last week. If you guys want, I want to add more content to the channel. I just don't know what to add, and I don't have, I have a separate gaming channel. I'll go into that eventually as I'm working on it. So go check out the France Plays as well. That is my gaming channel. Got a video of me taking on a Nasher behemoth on Dauntless. I have a video that's going up soon for a fight with me and 3 other people against an Embermane, which I would not take on my own because it's just one of those creatures that's just so damn elusive and annoying to face. But again, I'll see you guys tomorrow for NXT. The last time we'll be doing NXT on Wednesdays, that it will be moving to Thursdays this next week, which I know is going to be 1 hour on USA and 1 hour on on the WWE Network for the first 2 weeks because of the Suits final 2 episodes. But until then, I'll see you guys tomorrow, Sunday for Unscripted, and then of course Sunday for Unscripted and then Clash of Champions, and of course there will be a preview and prediction this Friday's for predictions for Clash of Champions going out this Friday. Until then, my name is France, and I'll see you guys later.